You people always cry discrimination when you can't follow simple laws. Officer Derek Matthews yanked the handcuffs tighter, making Dr. Amara Chen Washington wince. In exactly 11 hours and 43 minutes, he'd be begging her not to destroy his entire precinct. The courthouse marble echoed her designer heels details Matthews missed. "Everyone, record this," he commanded the morning crowd. "Harvard? Stanford? Sure you are." He jerked her forward, past 17 recording phones, 2 news cameras, 1 trembling grandmother whispering prayers. Amara's Hermes watch read 8:47 a.m. At 10 a.m. she was supposed to restructure American policing. Matthews had no idea. Her wrists bled slightly. She memorized his badge number, 4782. Have you ever calculated exactly how long you'd let someone humiliate you before you destroyed their entire world? These real-life stories, black stories that become touching stories, transform into life stories forever. 16 hours earlier, 4:32 p.m. Riverside Boulevard. The Tesla's autopilot held steady at 35. Amara touched her father's cross pendant, a ritual before every big moment. Tomorrow's testimony would either revolutionize American policing or die in committee. $3 billion in federal funding hung on her next words. The siren wasn't loud, almost apologetic. She pulled over beneath the Chase Bank cameras, always pick witnesses that can't lie. Her hands found 10 and 2, 23 years since passing the bar, and those lights still made her 12 again, watching Daddy explain to officers that yes, he owned the Mercedes, yes, he was the pastor, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, sir. Officer Derek Matthews approached with the practiced swagger of someone who'd never been told no. 6'2", wedding ring, fresh tattoo peeking beneath his sleeve Semper Fi, Marines. His partner Bryant stayed back, hand resting on his weapon. License and registration. Matthews's eyes skipped her face, locked onto the Tesla emblem. "Of course, officer." Her British accent slipped through Mom's Hong Kong inheritance. "May I ask what?" "Taillights out." The Tesla's display showed all systems green. She photographed it quietly. 4:34:17 p.m. Evidence file number 1. "Officer, my diagnostic system shows—" "Step out!" His body camera blinked red. Recording. Good. "Sir, I'm happy to comply, but I smell marijuana. Out. Now." The lie was so casual it almost sounded true. Amara had never touched drugs, Baptist minister's daughter, federal clearance, random drug tests for her DOJ work. But she knew this dance. Every black professional did. She moved like water slow, visible, non-threatening. Her Hermes briefcase held tomorrow's classified presentation. Her phone screen lit up. Governor Richardson. 3 missed. Matthews saw none of it. Hands on the vehicle. The Tesla's metal burned under the California sun. Matthews's pat-down wasn't sexual, but it was degrading, meant to humiliate. Her wallet tumbled out. American Express, black. A photo with Michelle Obama discussing the reform bill. Her father's funeral card. Matthews kicked them aside. Stolen, probably. "Officer Matthews," she read his badge, 4782. "I'm Dr. Amara Chen Washington. I serve on the President's—" "Doctor, lawyer, astronaut." He zip-tied her wrists, not regulation cuffs, the plastic bit deep. "Bryant, got another one with delusions." Bryant laughed, but it was nervous. Something in Amara's stillness bothered him, the way she memorized their badge numbers like collecting evidence. 4:41 p.m. In Berkeley, Zara Chen Washington noticed Mom's location frozen for 10 minutes. Their protocol kicked in. She went live. My mother is being arrested on Riverside. She's supposed to testify before Congress tomorrow morning. Views climbed. 1K, 10K, 50K. A crowd gathered. Mrs. Rodriguez from Yoga whispered prayers in Spanish. 2 Amazon drivers filmed. A UCLA-bound kid watched his future in handcuffs. But also, a man in a Bentley pretending to text. Amara's security detail, ordered to observe only, document everything. Where'd you steal the Tesla? Matthews pushed her against the car. Registration's in the glove compartment. We'll check that downtown. He opened the cruiser door. After processing, 8, maybe 10 hours. Hope you didn't have plans. The committee meeting. 17 hours away. 18 months of investigation. 47 departments analyzed. 3,000 pages of evidence. All useless if she wasn't there. Matthews shoved her inside. No hand protecting her head. Violation of Protocol 10.7.3. The vinyl reeked of fear sweat and Lysol. How many innocents had sat here? Through the radio chatter, she heard, Unit 47, multiple calls about your stop. Live social media incident. Just race baiters with phones, Matthews responded. Situation controlled. Bryant collected her things carelessly. The briefcase with documents marked Congressional Eyes Only. Her phone now 87 missed calls. The governor, attorney general, joint chiefs, CNN, her daughter. Miami boarding pass, Bryant announced. First class, tomorrow morning. She's running. That's my return flight from testimony. Sure it is. Matthews drove deliberately slowly past her life Zara's school, the community center she'd funded, her father's church. You know what I hate most? He told Bryant. They always claim to be important. Last week, one said she was Oprah's cousin. Bryant forced a laugh. Something was wrong. The radio wouldn't stop. Dispatch kept coding messages he didn't understand. Amara closed her eyes, felt her father's presence. Baby girl, he'd said during the Rodney King riots, sometimes God puts you exactly where you need to be. Document everything. Let evil document itself. Her wrists bled slightly. DNA evidence. Zara's stream hit 400K. Comments flooded. That's the police reform architect. She literally wrote the Accountability Act. Oh, someone call the president! The precinct loomed all concrete and contempt. 5:23 p.m. In 16 hours, 37 minutes, she would either present the most radical police reform in history or she'd still be in holding. Matthews parked. Bryant, make sure booking knows we got a fighter. Might need psych evaluation. Delusions of grandeur. He had no idea he'd just arrested his own executioner. The chess pieces were set. Amara had spent her career waiting for exactly this moment, when the system would reveal itself completely, undeniably, publicly. Matthews thought he was the hunter. He was already the prey. 8:52 a.m. Municipal Courthouse. Processing cage. The holding cell smelled like 40 years of fear rust, urine, and that particular decay of hope. Amara stood while 12 others sat. Standing was control. Standing meant ready. Desk Sergeant Patricia Coleman worked her crossword through bulletproof glass. 7-letter word for justice? Revenge, someone muttered. Someone, fallacy, Amara said quietly. Coleman's pen stopped. She studied Amara, the stillness, the posture, the way she held her cuffed hands like a CEO holding a portfolio. Matthews, your suspect's acting weird. Just book her. Matthews was sweating despite the AC. His phone had 13 missed calls from his wife. The live stream had found his Facebook. His kid's school was calling. Name? Coleman typed with 2 fingers, hunting each key. Dr. Amara Chen Washington. Bar number 87462. DOJ IDE. Save it. Coleman typed slower. The wall clock showed 9:03. Committee meeting in 57 minutes. Through the reinforced window, Amara watched the lobby shifting. First one suit, Harvard Law pin. Then 3 more Yale, Columbia, Howard. Her former students, now partners at firms that crushed police unions for sport. Officer Chen, Korean, 3rd generation, still trying to prove he belonged, forced a laugh. Hey, Matthews, caught yourself a big fish. Says she knows Obama. It was Michelle, actually, Amara said. We worked on juvenile justice reform. The processing room phone rang. Coleman ignored it. It rang again, different line. Then all 6 lines lit up simultaneously, ringing in horrible harmony. Don't answer, Matthews ordered. Media circus, it'll die down. Bryant's personal phone vibrated. Text from his mother. Is that the woman from Daddy's church? His father was Reverend Bryant. Amara had funded his AIDS clinic. Matt, Bryant started, I think maybe... Think nothing. Process her. Coleman's computer screen flashed blue, then black. Then, Federal oversight activated. This terminal is under Department of Justice monitoring for potential violation of 18 U.S.C. 242. What the? Coleman pushed back. The building's intercom crackled. A voice none of them recognized, young, urgent. Judge Harrison requesting Officer Matthews in courtroom 7, immediately. Ignore it, Matthews said, but his voice cracked. Through the window, the crowd evolved. Not just lawyers now. Congressional staffers with badges still warm from the Capitol. A woman in a naval uniform, Joint Chiefs liaison. 2 men in earpieces. Secret Service? No. Federal Marshals. Amara watched Matthew's face cycle through stages of realization like grief in reverse denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally, terrible acceptance. I need to make my phone call, Amara said. It's been 15 hours. After fingerprinting, Coleman tried to sound firm. The scanner wouldn't work. She tried again. Error message, authorization required, Federal Witness Protocol. The teenagers arrived like an army. Not random kids, Zara's debate team. Mock trial champions, future lawyers who'd studied Amara's cases in AP government. They didn't chant. They stood silent, phones raised, bearing witness. Clear them out! Matthews grabbed his baton. Don't! Bryant caught his arm. They're minors. On camera. Matt, something's wrong here. Officer Rodriguez entered, face ashen. Matthews, Channel 7 is saying we arrested the president's advisor? Bullshit. They have her bio, pictures with senators. Matt, she's real. The holding cell door buzzed open, not from inside, remotely. It override. A man entered like judgment itself. Federal Marshal Thompson, Amara's law school roommate's husband. He didn't acknowledge knowing her. Officer Matthews, you're required in courtroom 7. I'm processing a suspect. Now. Thompson's hand rested on his weapon. Your suspect comes too. The walk to courtroom 7 took 3 minutes. It felt like 3 years. Every camera tracked them. The crowd parted like the Red Sea. Someone whispered, "That's her, the one who wrote the Accountability Act." Courtroom 7 wasn't empty. Judge Harold Harrison sat behind the bench, the judge Amara had clerked for, though Matthews didn't know that. Yet. Officer Matthews, Harrison's voice could have frozen blood. Explain why Dr. Chen Washington is in handcuffs. Traffic violation escalated to stop. Harrison pulled out a tablet. I have your body camera footage, forwarded by, he smiled coldly, the company that makes your body cameras, owned by Dr. Chen Washington. The floor seemed to tilt. I have, Harrison continued, sworn affidavits from 17 witnesses, 14 videos from different angles, your dispatch recordings, and, he paused, a direct order from the Attorney General to investigate your precinct for systematic civil rights violations. Matthews's wedding ring felt tight. Would his kids know their father as the cop who went viral for all the wrong reasons? Your Honor, I didn't know who she was. You didn't know she was human? Harrison's voice dropped. Because unless being black is a crime, Officer Matthews, you've just committed a federal offense on camera with 8 million witnesses. The live stream count showed 9.2 million. Justice for Amara trending globally. Committee meeting in 12 minutes. Amara stood silent, calculating. The trap wasn't sprung yet. Matthews had more rope to hang himself with. Your Honor, Matthews tried again. She was resisting. I have the footage, Officer Matthews. Would you like me to play it for the cameras? Matthews's partner, Bryant, stepped away. Chen backed toward the door. Coleman was probably updating her resume. The courtroom doors opened, not dramatically, quietly. A young woman entered with an iPad. Judge Harrison? The committee is video calling. They're waiting for Dr. Chen Washington. 10 minutes until democracy shifted. Amara was still in handcuffs, and she hadn't even revealed her biggest secret yet. 9:42 a.m., courtroom 7. The reckoning. Judge Harrison's fingers drummed exactly 3 times a habit Amara remembered from clerking for him 15 years ago. Matthews didn't know they had history. Yet. Officer Matthews, Harrison's voice could have frozen hell. Before we proceed, I need you to understand something. This courtroom's cameras are feeding directly to C-SPAN. 12 million people are watching. Your next words will define your life. Matthews straightened his uniform, still believing he could salvage this. Your Honor, I followed protocol. Stop. Harrison turned his laptop screen. Dr. Chen Washington, for the record, please state your name and position. Amara waited. Let the silence build. Then, Dr. Amara Chen Washington, Special Advisor to... That's enough games, Amara. A new voice from the gallery. Everyone turned. Deputy Attorney General Marcus Stone stood. Matthews's hope surged. Federal prosecution would take time. Lawyers, appeals. Your Honor, Stone continued, Dr. Chen Washington is being modest. She's not just an advisor, she's the architect of the Federal Police Accountability Act, the designer of the National Reform Protocol, and, he paused, my boss on the President's task force. Matthews's hope died. Furthermore, Stone pulled out his phone, she's currently supposed to be testifying before Congress. Madam Chair, are you there? The courtroom screen flickered. 17 congressional faces appeared. The House Judiciary Committee, waiting. Congresswoman Barbara Kingston spoke. We've been watching since the arrest, Officer Matthews. Every second. Every violation. Matthews's legs weakened. How? The Tesla's cameras, Amara said quietly. They stream to the cloud. When you arrested me, the system automatically notified federal oversight. It's part of the protection protocol for federal witnesses. But you didn't tell me. I told you I was an attorney. You laughed. I mentioned federal work. You called it delusion. I explicitly said congressional testimony. You called it conspiracy. She pulled out her phone. 57 missed calls displayed. The governor called 17 times, the attorney general 12 times, the White House chief of staff 8 times, all trying to prevent exactly this scenario. Matthews's partner Bryant stepped backward, distancing himself physically and symbolically. But here's what's interesting, Amara continued. Officer Matthews, do you know what my testimony was about today? He shook his head. Which police departments should be federally investigated for systematic bias? She let that sink in. Your department wasn't on the list. You were actually rated satisfactory, past tense. Commissioner Thompson, watching from the back, calculated the loss, $47 million in federal funding, gone. Your Honor, Amara addressed Harrison, may I share something personal? Harrison nodded, though he knew what was coming. They'd planned this part last week. My father was Reverend James Washington. 27 years ago, he was stopped by police in this city. No reason given. He was beaten so badly he lost vision in one eye. The officers said he resisted. No cameras then, no proof. Just a black minister's word against a badge. The courtroom was silent. I became a lawyer because of that night. Spent 2 decades fighting for police reform. And yesterday, Officer Matthews, you gave me exactly what I needed, undeniable proof that nothing has changed. She opened an app on her phone. This is Police Watch. It launches tomorrow nationally. Every traffic stop logged, every pattern analyzed by AI, every bias flagged instantly. The screen showed a heat map of Matthews's stops. The data was damning 87% minorities in a 31% minority city. But I wasn't randomly stopped, was I? Amara smiled coldly. Officer Matthews, what made you target my Tesla? The taillight was working perfectly. We established that. Try again. Matthews's face reddened. You were driving suspiciously, at exactly the speed limit, in the right lane, using signals. The Tesla's log proves it. One more try. Matthews said nothing. You saw a black woman in a $100,000 car and assumed crime. That's it. That's all. That's not. Your body camera audio captured you saying, "These people always have some scam," when you saw my American Express black card. The quote hung in the air. Amara turned to the Congressional Committee on screen. Chairwoman Kingston, I'd like to present Exhibit A in why we need Federal Intervention Officer Derek Matthews. Noted, Dr. Chen Washington. Are you able to continue your testimony? I am. She raised her hands, showing bloody wrists. But I'm still in handcuffs. Matthews fumbled for keys, dropped them. The sound of metal on marble echoed like thunder. He retrieved them, hands shaking, and unlocked the cuffs. Amara's wrists were raw, bleeding. The cameras captured everything. DNA evidence of excessive force. Officer Matthews, she said, rubbing her wrists, you should know something. My late husband created body-worn technologies. The company that makes your body camera. Every second of your career has been stored on our servers. Matthews went pale. We're about to review every arrest you've ever made. Every traffic stop. Every use of force. Pattern analysis. Bias evaluation. And when we find what we know we'll find, she didn't need to finish. But there's something else. Amara pulled out a document. This is a donation pledge. My family foundation was about to give your precinct $3.7 million for new equipment and training. My brother-in-law's company had reserved 43 advanced training slots for your officers. Had every past tense word a nail in Matthews's coffin. I spent my career defending good cops, Amara said. I believed in reform from within. I fought against defunding. I was your advocate, Officer Matthews, and in 16 hours you proved me wrong. Matthews's phone buzzed. A text from his wife. The news says you arrested a federal official? Please tell me it's not true. Then another. Emma's crying. Her Stanford scholarship was from that woman's foundation. About that, Amara said, apparently reading his mind. Your daughter's scholarship stands. Children shouldn't suffer for their parents' sins. But you, Officer Matthews, you're done. You can't. Actually, I can. She pulled out another document. The Federal Police Accountability Act, Section 247, gives federal witnesses special prosecutorial powers in civil rights cases. I can prosecute you myself. Or, she paused, you can resign now. Full pension forfeiture. Lifetime ban from law enforcement. That's extortion? That's mercy. The alternative is federal prison. Matthews looked at his commissioner, his partner, his entire life collapsing. I need a lawyer. You have 1 hour to decide, Amara said. I testify until noon. After that, mercy expires. She turned to the screen. Chairwoman Kingston, I'm ready. As she walked toward the video setup, Matthews called out desperately, Why didn't you just tell me who you were? Amara stopped, turned. Would it have mattered? Should it have mattered? Should respect depend on titles? She let the questions hang, then added, You didn't arrest me, Officer Matthews. You arrested every black woman you've ever dismissed, every citizen you've profiled, every person you've deemed guilty of driving while black. She looked directly at the cameras, addressing 12 million viewers. And now, finally, there are consequences. Matthews slumped in his chair. He hadn't just ended his career. He'd started a revolution. And revolutions, he was learning, devour those who spark them. 10:47 a.m. Commissioner's conference room. The execution. The mahogany table had witnessed 30 years of cover-ups. Today, it would witness a demolition. Commissioner Thompson's hands shook as he poured his third bourbon at 10 a.m. City Attorney Janet Reeves pushed it away. You'll need clarity for this. Around them, Police Union Chief Frank Castellano, 28 years of protecting bad cops. Mayor's Chief of Staff David Park, Harvard MBA, zero street experience. PR Crisis Manager Sarah Monroe, already updating her LinkedIn. And Deputy Chief Angela Rodriguez, the only one who'd warned them about Matthews. On screen, Dr. Amara Chen Washington, systematically dissecting their department before Congress like a coroner explaining cause of death. Officer Matthews represents pattern behavior, Amara testified. 91% of his stops involve minorities. The department average is 83%. This isn't unconscious bias, it's deliberate targeting. Congressman Williams leaned forward. Dr. Chen Washington, you're saying the entire department is complicit? I'm saying when a pattern this obvious goes unaddressed for 15 years, leadership is either incompetent or complicit. Both disqualify them from federal funding. Thompson's bourbon glass cracked in his grip. The door burst open. Matthews stumbled in. Internal Affairs Officer Janet Park behind him. His badge was gone. Gun surrendered. Eyes hollow like a man watching his own funeral. Sit, Thompson ordered. Watch what you've done. On screen, Amara pulled up a spreadsheet that made Reeves gasp. Riverside PD's federal funding breakdown. Grant 74B, $18 million for community policing requires compliance with civil rights standards. Violated. Grant 23A, $12 million for de-escalation training requires pattern monitoring. Ignored. Grant 91 C. 17 million for equipment. Requires civilian oversight. Rejected. That's everything, Park calculated. Our entire federal budget. Plus, Amara continued, Body-worn Technologies is terminating Riverside's contract. That's our company. Additional loss, 12 million over 3 years. Matthews found his voice. She can't. Shut up. Rodriguez finally spoke. I wrote 17 reports about you. Excessive force. Biased stops. Thompson buried them all. Now we all burn. Thompson turned on her. Angela, save it. I'm recording this. She placed her phone on the table. For the inevitable investigation. On screen, Congresswoman Kingston asked, Your recommendations? Amara's response was a precision strike. 3 non-negotiable requirements. First, Matthews' immediate termination with full pension forfeiture. I have kids, Matthews erupted. So did Philando Castile. Amara's voice cut through the screen. Apparently the audio was bidirectional. Second, mandatory implementation of Police Watch, our AI-powered accountability system. Every stop logged, patterns analyzed real-time, bias flagged instantly. Monroe's phones buzzed simultaneously. CNN's breaking this live. 14 million viewers. Third, Amara continued, civilian oversight board with subpoena power, monthly reviews, and authority to terminate officers. Castellano stood. That's union violation. Actually, Reeves interrupted, reading rapidly. The Federal Police Accountability Act, which she wrote, supersedes union contracts in cases of systematic civil rights violations. You're our lawyer, Castellano shouted. Fight this! With what? Reeves showed her screen. She has 43 hours of body camera footage showing bias. 700 complaints uninvestigated. Statistical proof of targeting. We're not defendants. We're the guilty. Thompson grabbed the conference phone. Dr. Chen Washington, can we negotiate? Her face turned to the camera. Commissioner Thompson, I wondered when you'd join us. These terms are harsh. Harsh? Amara's voice could have frozen blood. My father lost an eye to police brutality in your city. No consequences. Yesterday, your officer made my daughter watch her mother arrested on live stream for driving a nice car. Harsh hasn't started yet. Park's calculator clattered to the floor. If we lose federal funding, we lay off 300 officers. Or, Amara said, you accept my terms. I'll personally ensure funding continues with oversight. That's extortion, Thompson said. That's mercy. The alternative is federal receivership. DOJ runs your department for a decade. Every email read, every arrest reviewed, every officer investigated. Your choice. Matthews's phone vibrated. Text from his wife. Emma's being bullied. Kids saying her dad's a Nazi, coming home. Then his mother. Saw the news. Your father would be ashamed. His brother. My boss says your situation might affect my security clearance. Thanks for nothing. I'll sign, Matthews whispered. Whatever you want. Too late, Amara responded. You had your chance in court. Now it's criminal prosecution or complete cooperation, including testifying about every biased stop you've witnessed other officers make. That's career suicide. Your career died at 4:32 yesterday. Now we're determining if your freedom dies too. Rodriguez smiled coldly. I'll testify. Every buried report, every ignored complaint, every cover-up. Thompson turned on her. You're finished. No, Commissioner, you are. Rodriguez pulled out a flash drive. 17 years of documentation. Every racist joke in roll call you laughed at. Every complaint you buried, every whistleblower you transferred, all recorded, dated, witnessed. The room erupted. Castellano lunged for the drive. Park held him back. Monroe typed furiously. Damage control was now damage documentation. On screen, Amara raised a final document. The Chen Washington Foundation's annual police charity donation, $8 million, is being redirected from Riverside to departments that embrace reform. Please, Thompson was begging now. We'll implement everything. Tonight, 6 p.m. news. You, the mayor, and Officer Matthews, if he wants to avoid federal charges. Public apology. Admission of systematic failure. Promise of complete reform. The union won't. The union's irrelevant. Amara cut him off. Federal oversight supersedes local contracts. Ask Detroit. Ask New Orleans. Ask Seattle. Reeves nodded. She's right. We're past union protection. Matthews stood suddenly. I need air. Sit down. Park blocked the door. You don't leave until this is resolved. Through the window, news vans circled like vultures. Channel 4, 7, 9, CNN, Fox, MSNBC. The building was surrounded. Dr. Chen Washington, Thompson tried once more. Surely we can... Commissioner, let me be clear. Amara's voice was steel. Officer Matthews gave me a gift, irrefutable proof that reform from within fails. Now I have congressional support for federal intervention nationwide. Your department is the test case. Comply completely or become the example that transforms American policing. Monroe looked up from her phone. The president just tweeted support for Dr. Chen Washington. Game over. We accept, Thompson said quietly. All terms. Good. Police Watch goes live Monday. Training starts Tuesday. Oversight Board convenes Friday. And Commissioner? Amara paused. That bourbon you're hiding? The one you think we can't see? Get help or step down. Leaders can't lead drunk. The screen went black. Silence filled the room like water, drowning them all. Matthews was escorted out, each step echoing like a funeral march. Through the window, they watched him reach his car, surrounded by reporters. He covered his face and ran. Gentlemen, Rodriguez said, standing, you've just witnessed the future. Accountability is coming. Prepare or perish. She walked out, flash drive in hand, toward the federal investigators surely waiting. Thompson stared at his badge. 40 years of service, ending in disgrace. The revolution had arrived, and it didn't need guns, just truth. 6 months later, federal courthouse, day 180 of oversight. Matthews sat in the back row, ankle monitor blinking red. House arrest, 2 years. Better than federal prison, worse than freedom. His court-ordered attendance at every reform meeting was Judge Harrison's special cruelty. Watch the world you destroyed rebuild without you. Dr. Amara Chen Washington approached the podium. She looked tired. 6 months of death threats, lawsuit threats, and 3 attempted attacks by officers' families had aged her. Police Watch has been active 180 days, she began. The data is mixed. The room tensed. They'd expected victory laps. Complaints are down 62%, but that's partly because people stopped reporting, believing nothing changes. Use of force decreased 47%, mostly because officers are letting criminals go rather than risk accountability. Response times up 30%, officers paralyzed by oversight. Behind her, Commissioner Rodriguez, promoted after Thompson's liver failed, shifted uncomfortably. This wasn't the narrative they'd planned. 3 officers have committed suicide since implementation, Amara continued. 17 resigned rather than face pattern review. The union has filed 43 lawsuits. We're winning, but at what cost? Officer Chen stood up, the Korean cop who'd once mocked her. Dr. Washington, my partner won't ride with me anymore, says I'm a snitch for reporting his racial jokes. My kids get bullied. Their dad's the rat cop. Change hurts, Officer Chen. Growth requires pain. Easy for you to say, someone shouted. You're not on the streets. Amara's composure cracked slightly. No, I'm getting death threats. My daughter transferred schools after someone spray-painted cop killer on her locker. My mother's nursing home receives bomb threats weekly. Don't lecture me about cost. Matthews watched her humanity show. She wasn't a revolutionary, just a woman who'd been pushed too far. But here's what else happened. Amara pulled up new data. Marcus Johnson, arrested by Matthews 3 times for suspicious behavior walking, while Black just got his record expunged. Started college last week. Sarah Martinez, pulled over 14 times in 2 years. No citations. She drives without panic now. David Park's son sees police and doesn't run anymore. The room was divided, half nodding, half scowling. The Matthews protocol isn't perfect, Rodriguez admitted. Officers are gaming it, stopping fewer minorities but harassing them longer. Same bias, different metrics. Then we adjust, Amara responded. Reform isn't a destination, it's a journey. Bryant, Matthews's former partner, stood. My father's a reverend. After your arrest video went viral, his whole congregation confessed their police trauma. 40 years of stories he'd never heard. I became a cop to protect people. Instead, I was terrorizing them. And now? Now I know. That's something. A reporter interrupted. Officer Matthews, any comment? Matthews stood slowly. 6 months of therapy, AA meetings, and court-ordered sensitivity training had changed him. Or had it. I'm still racist, he said flatly. Therapy doesn't erase 30 years of conditioning. I see a black man at night, my hand still twitches toward where my weapon was. Difference is, now I notice it. Now I'm disgusted by it. That's not redemption, someone called out. I'm not seeking redemption. I'm seeking to do less harm. He faced Amara. You didn't fix me. You stopped me. There's a difference. Amara nodded. Honesty. Finally. Her phone buzzed. The White House. She ignored it. The 3rd call today about expanding the program nationally. 20 states wanted police watch. 30 resisted. The federal monitoring ends in 6 months, she announced. Either Riverside proves reform works, or DOJ takes permanent control. What do you need from us? Rodriguez asked. Truth. Stop performing progress. Actually change. She pulled up a final slide photos of every person Matthews had wrongfully arrested. Each face represents generational trauma. Children who'll fear police forever. Families destroyed by legal fees. Careers ended by false records. Matthews counted 43 faces. 43 lives he'd damaged. I protected your daughter's scholarship, Amara told him, because someone has to break the cycle. Emma studies law now to undo what you did. That's the only redemption available, your child fixing your sins. Matthews's phone showed Emma's text. Dad, watching the meeting live stream, you admitting the racism instead of claiming you're cured means everything. Real change starts with truth. Outside, Protesters chanted, half supporting reform, half opposing it. America divided, as always. 6 more months, Amara concluded. Either Riverside becomes the model or the warning. The meeting ended without applause. Reality didn't deserve celebration. Matthews walked out alone, ankle monitor recording every step. He'd lost his career, pension, reputation, and friends. But for the first time in 43 years, he'd told the truth. That wasn't redemption, but it was a start. 1 year later, Emma Matthews's Stanford dorm. She pressed play on the video for the 1,000th time. Her father destroying himself in 4K resolution. 800 million views. Her legacy forever. Em, you okay? Her roommate, Zara Chen Washington, sat beside her. Yes, the universe had made them roommates. The arrester's daughter and the arrested's daughter. Cosmic justice or cosmic joke. Your mom saved my future, Emma said. She protected my scholarship while destroying my dad. Your dad destroyed himself, Zara replied. My mom just held the mirror. On Emma's laptop, a documentary filmmaker wanting their story. On Zara's, her mother's text, 3 more officers committed suicide. I caused this. Both girls understood. Revolution ate everyone, even revolutionaries. The numbers, 1 year post-arrest. Derek Matthews now cleans offices at Stanford Janitor, where his daughter studies law. Every night, mopping floors his pension once could have polished. He sees Emma sometimes. She doesn't acknowledge him. That's fair. Dr. Amara Chen Washington hasn't slept well in 347 nights. Death threats became attempts. 3. Her security detail costs more than Matthews ever earned. Victory tastes like ash when you're bulletproof vesting to buy groceries. Police watch active in 3,000 apartments. 48 million interactions logged. Patterns, undeniable bias, runs deeper than training can reach. But also, Marcus Johnson, wrongfully arrested 3 times by Matthews, just passed the bar. Sarah Martinez's daughter sees police without freezing. David Park's son wants to become a cop, the right kind. Change measured in generations, not gestures. The Reckoning. Matthews speaks at police academies now, court-ordered, unpaid. Shows recruits his highlight reel. 43 false arrests. 87 biased stops. 1 life-destroying traffic stop. I thought my badge made me righteous, he tells them. It just made me armed. Half the recruits get it. Half think he's weak. Progress. Amara testifies before Congress monthly. Same room where she appeared in handcuffs via video. Senators who once dismissed her now fear her data. The Matthews Protocol has identified 4,782 officers with dangerous patterns. That's not bad apples, that's an orchard. Reform bills pass. Unions fight. Courts decide. Democracy grinds forward, bloody but breathing. Tonight, Riverside streets. A black teenager drives his mom's BMW. Blue lights flash behind him. His hands shake, but his phone's already recording. Police Watch app running. The officer approaches, reviews his body cam, remembers Matthews, remembers consequences. License and registration, please. You were going 47 in a 45 zone. I'm letting you off with a warning. Drive safe. The kid breathes. Posts the video. Caption: It's working. 8 million views in 6 hours. Your turn. This isn't just another story in our collection of black stories and life stories. These real-life stories become touching stories only through action. 3 things. Now, 1. Comment. Drop your badge number if you're police ready to change. Share your story if you've been Matthewsed. Silence is complicity. 2. Share. Every platform, every group. Make this video undeniable. Your share could save someone's life tomorrow at a traffic stop. 3. Subscribe plus bell. Join 12 million demanding accountability. We're watching, recording, voting. Remember, Amara had power, privilege, and preparation, and still spent 16 hours in handcuffs. What chance do you have without witnesses? Download Police Watch now, before you become a statistic. Because somewhere tonight, another Matthews is on patrol, hunting. Don't be prey. Be prepared. The revolution needs you armed with cameras, knowledge, and fury transformed into focus. Justice isn't coming. Justice is here. If we fight for it,